Welcome back to another episode of Valuable Coins, where we dive deep into the world of numismatics, uncovering the most valuable and unique coins in the market today. If you're a coin enthusiast, collector, or simply interested in the incredible value of rare coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we will explore two of the most fascinating and expensive United States coins currently circulating the auction market. First up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln Steel Penny. Specifically, the large date variety with the S mint mark, in good condition. This coin has a rich story and is highly prized by collectors. So, what makes it so special? And how much is it worth in today's market? Let's find out. The year 1943 was a time of global upheaval. America was fully engaged in World War II, and materials like copper were in high demand for war production. Because of this, the U.S. Mint made a bold change. Instead of copper, pennies were struck on zinc-coated steel. These 1943 steel pennies stand out instantly because of their silver gray color and magnetic properties. The 1943 steel penny features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the date and the mint mark. The S mint mark indicates it was produced at the San Francisco Mint. This particular variety has a large date, which is important to collectors because it's visually distinct from the small date version minted the same year. Here you can see the difference. The large date has bolder, wider numerals, especially noticeable in the 4 and 3 knowing. How to spot this difference is crucial because the large date with S mint mark is rarer and more valuable. When we say this coin is in good condition, we're talking about a grade where the coin shows significant wear, but the major features and date are still clear. For the 1943 steel penny, that means Lincoln's outline is visible, though worn. The wheat ears on the reverse are faint but discernible, and the date and mint mark are legible. So, what's the value of a 1943 large date steel penny with an S mint mark in good condition despite the large numbers minted? This coin is quite collectible and commands a respectable price. In today's market, a 1943S large date steel penny in good condition typically sells for between $10 to $25 United States dollars. The exact price depends on factors like eye appeal, exact grade, and the buyer's demand. Coins in higher grades, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, can fetch prices well above $50 or more. A quick note: if you ever come across a 1943 copper penny, be very careful. Those are extremely rare error coins and worth tens of thousands of dollars. The steel penny, while common, is still a fascinating and valuable piece of history. Collecting steel pennies requires care, since the steel base can rust or corrode easily. Proper storage in dry, cool environments and using protective holders can help preserve their condition and value. To sum it up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny, large date with S mint mark in good condition, is valued today between $100 and $250. It's a tangible piece of World War II history and a must-have for any serious penny collector. Next up, we're exploring a truly unique and fascinating coin in American history, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny, featuring the large date with D mint mark, all in beautiful, very fine condition. This coin is a special piece from the World War II era, and in this video, we'll cover everything you need to know from its background and identifying features to its current market value. So, let's get started. During World War II, copper was a critical resource needed for wartime production, from ammunition to communications equipment. Because of this, the U.S. Mint made a significant change in 1943 by producing pennies from zinc-coated steel instead of the usual copper alloy. This was a one-year-only change that gave rise to the famous 1943 steel penny. Instantly recognizable by its silver gray color and magnetic properties, the penny's obverse features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln, with the date 1943, and a small D mint mark just below it, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. This coin has the large date variety, characterized by bolder and wider numerals. Especially noticeable in the 4 and 3A key factor. For collectors, here's a side-by-side comparison to help you spot the difference between the large date and small date varieties. The large date features thicker digits and a more prominent shape, while the small date numbers are narrower and slightly smaller. Now, let's discuss the grading. A very fine grade means the coin has moderate wear but retains clear and sharp details. On a 1943 steel penny, this means Lincoln's hair and facial features are well defined. The date and mint mark are crisp, and the wheat stalks, on the reverse, are mostly intact with only some minor smoothing. The steel penny surface is unique because it can easily rust or corrode if not properly stored. So a 1943 steel penny in very fine condition is particularly prized because it has survived the decades with minimal wear and corrosion. So, what's the market value of a 1943 large date steel penny with D mint mark in very fine condition? As of today, these coins generally range from $40 to $75 USD, depending on eye appeal and specific grade nuances. Coins in lower grades, like good or fine, are worth less, typically under $200, while those in extremely built by or uncirculated condition can fetch several $100s or more. The demand for well-preserved steel pennies continues to grow as collectors appreciate their wartime significance and unique composition. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny, featuring the large date variety, minted without mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint, and in what collectors call a dirty condition. In this video, we'll explore its background, how to identify this coin, what dirty condition means, and most importantly, its value in today's market. Let's get started. The year 1943 was marked by the United States' full engagement in World War II. Due to copper being redirected to support the war effort, the U.S. Mint made a significant shift and produced pennies made from zinc-coated steel instead of copper. This steel penny stands out with its silver-gray appearance and magnetic qualities, a unique chapter in U.S. coinage. This 1943 Lincoln steel penny shows the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the date 1943 prominently displayed. Since there is no mint mark, we know this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the only mint that did not add a mint mark at that time. The large date variety is distinguished by its bold and wide digits, especially noticeable in the "Here's a quick comparison" to help you spot the difference between the large date and small date 1943 pennies. The large date, like this one, has thicker, bolder numbers compared to the small date variety. So what does it mean when we say this coin is in dirty condition? Coins in dirty condition have surface grime, oxidation, or corrosion, often hiding some of the finer details. While this may lower the coin's aesthetic appeal, it doesn't necessarily destroy its collectible value. In fact, many coins survive decades in pockets, drawers, or coin jars this way. Important tip: if you find a steel penny that's dirty, avoid cleaning it yourself. Improper cleaning can cause scratches and damage that drastically reduce value. It's often best to leave it as is or seek professional advice. Now, let's talk value. A 1943 large date steel penny without a mint mark in dirty condition generally ranges in value from about $5 to $15 United States dollars. While this isn't the highest price for steel pennies, it reflects the coin's condition and market demand. Coins in better condition, like very fine or uncirculated, can command prices well above $50 or more. And if you ever find a 1943 penny struck in copper, a rare and valuable error, be sure to get it authenticated immediately because those can be worth tens of thousands. So, if you have a 1943 Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark in dirty Condition, remember it still holds collectible value and is an important piece of wartime history. It's a coin that survived a unique moment in time and can be a great addition to your collection. Next up, 1 penny at a time. Today, we're taking a closer look at a classic piece from mid-20th century America, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D Mint mark. Found in good condition, if you're curious about its value in today's collector market and what makes this coin so collectible, you're in the right place. Let's jump right in. The year was 1955. America was in a post-war boom, with innovation and industry on the rise. In that same year, the Denver Mint struck over 563 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies, marked with the letter D below the date. Although these coins were widely circulated, they still remain an important part of the Lincoln Wheat series and American numismatic history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln Wheat Penny had already been in circulation since 1909. The obverse side of the coin features Abraham Lincoln's profile, the word Liberty, the date 1955, and the small D Mint mark just below the year, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse side features 2 stylized wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Like most pre-1982 pennies, the 1955D Wheat Penny was struck using a metal composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gives the coin its classic reddish-brown tone and weight of 3.11 grams. Let's talk about condition. A 1955D penny in good condition, which is considered G4 on the grading scale, means the coin has been in circulation for many years. Most of the major features are still visible, although heavily worn. Lincoln's outline is clear, but finer. Details such as the hair and coat may be flat. The reverse may show wear on the wheat ears and lettering, but all essential details are still legible. Here's a side-by-side comparison of a good condition coin next to one in fine and uncirculated condition. As you can see, a good condition coin shows significant wear, but don't be discouraged. Even circulated coins can still have value. So, what is a 1955D Lincoln Wheat Penny in good condition worth in today's market right now? The average value ranges from around 5 cents to 15 cents. That's 5 to 15 cents. While it may not seem like a fortune, still up to 15 times its original face value, and 4 coin collectors building a complete set every year, and mint mark matters. Of course, value increases significantly with condition. A 1955D in very fine condition can sell for around 25 cents to 50 cents. And if you've got one in mint state, it could be worth $5 to $20 or more. Certified high-grade examples with red luster can go even higher at auctions.now. A quick but important note: not all 1955 pennies are the same. There's a famous 1955 double die error, but that version was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, not Denver. If your 1955 penny has a D Mint mark, it's not part of the famous double die error, but still a valuable coin to keep if you're collecting the full Lincoln Wheat Penny series, whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector. The 1955D penny is a great coin to hold on to. It's affordable, easy to find, and represents a rich era in American history. Storing it properly in coin flips, folders, or albums will help preserve it for years to come. So, to wrap it all up, the 1955D Lincoln Wheat Penny in good condition typically sells for between 5 and 15 cents in today's market. While it may not be the rarest or most valuable, it's a solid piece of history and a great addition to any Lincoln Wheat Penny collection. Next up, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the S Mint mark, found in fine condition. We'll talk about its history, how to identify it, and what it's worth in today's market. So stay tuned. And let's dive into the world of Lincoln Wheat cents. The year 1946 marked the beginning of a new era. World War II had just ended, and the United States was shifting from wartime production to peacetime rebuilding. Amid this backdrop, U.S. Mint continued producing the Abraham Lincoln Wheat Cent, a design that had already been in use since 1909. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco, which used the S mint mark. On this coin, you'll find the familiar profile of President Lincoln on the obverse, with the date 1946 and a small s beneath the date. That's what makes it a San Francisco Mint coin. This penny was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which was the standard composition before the U.S. shifted to zinc-based cents in the 1980s. It weighs 3.11 grams. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB can often be found at the bottom of Lincoln's shoulder when we talk about fine condition. We're looking at a mid-range grade F12 on the Sheldon coin grading scale. For a 1946 S penny in fine condition, you should still see all major design elements. Lincoln's features are worn but visible. And on the reverse, the wheat stalks are partially worn but still outlined. Lettering and date are all clear and readable. Take a look at these examples. As you can see, the fine grade sits nicely between heavy wear and near mint shine. It's the kind of coin you'd find in an old coin jar or inherited collection that's been handled but not abused. The San Francisco Mint struck more than 198 million of these coins in 1946, which makes them fairly common in circulated grades like fine. However, they are still in demand by collectors trying to complete their full Lincoln set. Now, let's talk numbers. A 1946 S wheat penny in fine condition is typically worth between 15 cents and 35 cents in today's market. That's around 15 to 35 cents, a modest but respectable increase over its face value. And if you've got a coin with eye appeal, it could fetch slightly more from the right collector. If you happen to have this coin in extremely fine or uncirculated mint state condition, its value increases. Mint state examples, especially those graded by PCGs or NGC, can be worth anywhere from $300 to $1,500, and sometimes more depending on color and luster, even if the coin isn't extremely rare or high in value. It plays a valuable role in completing sets and telling the story of a time when America was rebuilding. Keeping it stored properly in a coin folder or flip will help preserve its condition and retain its value. Next up, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark, in damaged condition. If you've come across this old penny in a coin jar or inherited collection, stick around, because today we're breaking down what it's worth in today's collector market. The year was 1942. And the United States was in the middle of World War II. The country was rationing food, fuel, and metals, and yet, coin production continued at full speed. The Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at the time, produced over 657 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies that year. The 1942 Lincoln Cent features the iconic design by Victor David Brenner, with Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. Framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, you'll also see the motto E pluribus unum, above and in God we trust, above Lincoln's head. If there's no mint mark under the date, the coin was made in Philadelphia. This penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives it a reddish-brown tone, although age and exposure can cause heavy discoloration or corrosion, especially on damaged coin collecting. Damaged condition refers to coins that have significant flaws like deep scratches, holes, bends, corrosion, or discoloration. These flaws disqualify the coin from receiving a standard grade and usually lower its market value significantly. Here's how it compares. While a mint state, 1942 penny can sell for a few dollars or more, A coin in damaged condition will typically have little to no numismatic value, though it might still be worth more than face value depending on copper prices and collector interest. So, what is a 1942 no mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny in damaged condition worth in today's market? On average, these coins are valued at around 3 cents to 10 cents. That's $15,000 depending on the extent of the damage and how much original detail is still visible. Many collectors still hang on to damaged 1942 pennies for one reason: completing a set. For beginners building a Lincoln Wheat collection from 1909 to 1958. Even a damaged coin can temporarily fill a spot until a better condition one is found. To wrap things up, a 1942 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in damaged condition is generally worth between 3 and 10 cents in today's market. It's not rare, and the damage limits its value, but it's still a piece of wartime history that may interest casual collectors or copper enthusiasts. Thanks for watching. The 1945 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with a Denver D mint mark, showing a beautiful red color shade, but unfortunately in damaged condition. We'll explore what makes this coin special, how the red color adds value, how damage affects it, and what it's worth in today's market. Let's get started. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of a classic series minted from 1909 to 1958. This particular penny was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small d beneath the date. The wheat ears on the reverse and Lincoln's profile on the obverse are classic features that collectors love. One of the standout aspects of this coin is its vibrant red color. This red color, often called red copper, indicates the original copper surface hasn't been significantly oxidized. Red pennies are more desirable because they are closer to how they looked fresh off the press, making them more valuable to collectors. Unfortunately, this coin is in damaged condition. Damage can include scratches, dents, corrosion, cleaning marks, or any form of surface impairment that detracts from the coin's eye appeal. Even with a stunning red color, heavy damage can seriously reduce a coin's value. Damage impacts value because collectors typically seek coins with well-preserved surfaces. While a red color penny usually commands a premium, damage diminishes collector interest and price. For this 1945 D penny, the damage means it won't fetch the higher prices that pristine red pennies can achieve. So, what is the market value of a 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark in red color but damaged condition generally? Such a coin might be worth around $75,000 today, a modest premium over face value due to the red color. But limited by the damage. If the damage is minimal or localized, some collectors may still pay a bit more for the coin's red coloration. However, extensive damage typically lowers the price. Coins with rare errors or varieties could still carry value, but standard 1945 D pennies usually do not for collectors. The best advice is to handle coins carefully, avoid cleaning them harshly, and store them in protective holders. Proper care helps preserve color and minimizes damage, keeping your coins attractive to collectors. Next up, the 1952 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with Denver D mint mark, featuring a black color shade and dirty condition. We'll discuss what makes this coin interesting, what the black toning means, how the condition affects its value, and what it's worth in today's market. Let's get started. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of the beloved Wheat penny series that ran from 1909 to 1958. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark beneath the date. The obverse features President Lincoln's profile, while the reverse displays the classic wheat ears design. Now, let's talk about the black color shade. Unlike the typical reddish or brown copper tones, this penny has turned almost completely black. This black toning usually happens naturally over time, caused by environmental factors such as oxidation, exposure to moisture, or chemical reactions with soil and air. While some collectors find black toning unattractive, others appreciate it as a natural patina that tells a story about the coin's journey through time. Black toning can sometimes add character, but it often indicates a less pristine coin. This particular coin is also in dirty condition, meaning it has surface dirt and grime that can obscure details. Dirty coins often show signs of circulation and storage in less than ideal environments. Cleaning a coin improperly to remove dirt can actually reduce its value, so it's best left as is unless professionally restored. So, what is the value of a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark in black color shade and dirty condition? Generally, coins in such condition are valued close to face value, typically between $15,000, depending on the severity of the dirt and where if the coin were cleaned professionally or naturally toned in a more appealing way, it might fetch a higher price. Also, coins with strong detail and less damage generally command better value. However, for most dirty and heavily toned pennies from 1952, the value remains modest. For collectors, the best advice is to avoid harsh cleaning or scrubbing. Store coins in a dry, cool place, and handle them by the edges to prevent oils and dirt from your fingers causing further damage. Next up, we're focusing on a classic coin from the beloved Lincoln Wheat Penny series, the 1934 penny without a mint mark, in fine condition. We'll explore its background, what fine condition means, why it's sought after, and what it's worth in today's market. Let's jump right in. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was first minted in 1909 and continued all the way through 1958. This 1934 penny comes from a period when the United States was recovering from the Great Depression, making it an interesting piece of American history. This coin has no mint mark, which means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During this time, Philadelphia pennies were typically minted without a mint mark, while coins from Denver and San Francisco carried the D and S marks respectively. So, what does fine condition mean in coin grading? A fine grade indicates moderate wear on the coin, but with the major details still visible. On this 1934 penny, you'll see Lincoln's profile with some softening of features, and the wheat ears on the reverse are worn but mostly intact. This condition reflects a coin that was well circulated but still retains collector appeal. While the 1934 penny isn't rare in the strictest sense, it's a key date for many collectors looking to complete their Lincoln Wheat Penny sets. Coins from the 1930s are especially popular because of their historical context and classic design. So, what is a 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark in fine condition worth today? Typically, these coins sell for around 50 cents to $1.50, depending on the coin's eye appeal, color, and demand. Those with a nice red or red-brown hue can fetch the higher end of this range. Value can fluctuate based on the coin's color, luster, and any signs of damage or cleaning. Collectors generally prefer coins with original surfaces and avoid those that have been cleaned harshly. If you have a 1934 wheat penny, it's best to store it in a cool, dry place and avoid cleaning it yourself. Preserving the coin's natural patina and details is key to maintaining its value over time. Next up today, we're spotlighting a classic piece of American numismatic history, the 1926 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark, graded in good condition. We'll dive into its background, what good condition really means, and of course, what it's worth in today's market. Let's get started. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 through 1958, featuring Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stylized wheat ears on the reverse. The 1926 issue comes smack in the middle of the series and reflects America's roaring 20s era. This coin bears no mint mark, which tells us it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's oldest and then primary facility. Denver and San Francisco issues would carry D or S mint marks, but Philadelphia cents remained unmarked. 1926 was a time of economic growth and cultural change in the U.S. Between World War I and the Great Depression, pennies like this one were everyday currency passing through countless hands, making their survival into the 21st century all the more special now. Let's talk condition. In numismatics, coins are graded on a scale from poor all the way up to mint state. Good condition, often abbreviated as G4, means heavy wear. The design is worn down, but major features are still visible. On this 1926 penny, you'll see Lincoln's silhouette and the wheat stalks are smoothed. Yet you can still read the date and spot the major design elements. In good condition, Lincoln's facial features are almost worn away, and the wheat ears lack sharp detail. But importantly, the date and the words "In God We Trust, Liberty and 1 cent" remain legible. That's what keeps it collectible, even with heavy circulation. Where's the 1926 Philadelphia wheat penny isn't particularly rare compared to some other dates, but coins in any condition from nearly a century ago hold appeal. Collectors aiming to complete a full-year set of Lincoln cents will look for examples in good or better condition for each year from 1909 onward. So, what is this coin worth today in good condition? 1926 Philadelphia wheat pennies generally trade for about 30 cents to 75 cents. Factors like eye appeal, toning, and overall strike quality can push a well-worn example toward the higher end of that range. For comparison, coins in lower grades like fair might go for just $15,000, while very fine examples can command a few dollars. Uncirculated specimens, of course, bring significantly higher prices depending on their exact grade. If you're hunting for these pennies, seek out clear, even wear, and avoid coins that have been harshly cleaned or damaged. And if you already own a 1926 penny, store it in a cool, dry place, ideally in a protective holder, and handle it by the edges to preserve what's left of its original surfaces. To wrap up the 1926 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in good condition, is an affordable and historic collectible, generally valued between 30 and 75 cents today. It's a fantastic way to connect with nearly 100 years of American history. Next up, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, currently in dirty condition. We'll explore its historical background, what the dirty condition means for collectors, and its value in today's market. Let's dive in. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the famous wheat penny series, minted from 1909 through 1958. This particular penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. As indicated by the absence of a mint mark, Philadelphia pennies rarely carried mint marks at this time. 1946 was an important year in American history, marking the post-World War II era when the country was transitioning back to peace and prosperity. Coins like this penny were everyday currency that passed through countless hands, so it's not surprising that many show signs of wear and dirt. So, what exactly does dirty condition mean? This means the coin has accumulated dirt, grime, and surface debris over the years, often obscuring details and reducing its eye appeal, while dirt can sometimes be gently cleaned. Improper cleaning can damage the coin's surface and decrease its value. In this dirty condition, you might notice the date and details on Lincoln's profile and the wheat ears on the back may be harder to see clearly. For collectors, condition is crucial, and dirt typically lowers the coin's desirability unless it's cleaned professionally or preserved well. So, what is the value of a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in dirty condition generally? These coins are quite common, and in dirty or heavily worn condition, they typically have a market value close to their face value or slightly higher, usually between $48,000 of course. Coins with better condition, original red or red-brown, color, or unique mint errors can be worth significantly more. But for a dirty 1946 penny without mint mark, the value remains modest due to its commonality and condition. If you own coins like this, it's best to avoid aggressive cleaning or scrubbing. Instead, store your coins in a dry, cool environment. And if you want to clean them, seek advice from a professional numismatist to avoid accidental damage. To summarize, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark in dirty condition is a common collectible, worth around 5 to 15 cents. In today's market, its value is limited by condition, but it remains an important part of American coin history. Do you have a dirty wheat penny in your collection? Now you know what to look for and how condition affects value. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more coin collecting tips and stories. Share your questions or coin finds in the comments below.